Welcome, I'm James, your Gamma Flare race engineer, and we're set for round 3 of the Allports V8 Autumn Series. Last week at Road Atlanta, the round delivered a wide range of race-defining moments. An opening lap multi-car incident significantly disrupted the field, with several drivers, including Rehan Leonage, caught in early contact. Ridley Turner's race came to an abrupt end following a catastrophic engine failure under braking. At the front, Zach Rattray-White demonstrated exceptional control and consistency, securing a double victory. Tonight's goal is simple: be fast, be clean, and ideally, don't redecorate the walls. Tonight's venue is the Chicago Street Circuit, which is a modern addition to the racing calendar, first introduced in 2023. Set against the backdrop of downtown Chicago, this circuit has quickly established itself as one of the most technically demanding tracks, defined by narrow confines, inconsistent surface grip, and unforgiving concrete walls. What defines Chicago is its lack of rhythm. The drivers are constantly managing instability. The lap begins with high-speed direction changes, forcing early commitment without full confidence. This flows into heavy braking zones where rear instability and lockups are common, especially when attempting overtakes. Through the middle of the lap, the circuit compresses. Small errors may carry through multiple corners, making precision in placement critical. The final section is slow and highly technical. Traction is limited, walls are close, and any over-application of throttle will result in immediate punishment. Across the lap, inconsistent grip, constant wall proximity, and no margin for recovery. Your commentators for tonight are Davo and J-Man, who will be bringing detailed coverage throughout the race. Division 1 of MatchFit Entertainment, the Allports V8 Autumn Series Round 3 is set. We'll see you on the track.
Welcome aboard, everybody. Thank you, James, for the intro once again. And yes, he is correct. We are here at the Allports V8 Supercar Series in Chicago here tonight for round 3 or 4, if you'd like to factor in the qualifying round a few weeks ago. As always, if you tuned in to MatchFit on a Tuesday night, you're getting Davo and J-Man right by my side. How are you doing, my friend?
Evening, Davo. Good evening, viewers. Welcome back to Tuesday. Good little segue there from James. James touching on all the action from last week, mate, and there was plenty of it. Reminded us there we did have an engine expiry there from Ridley, and but no, this one here, you and I leading up to this one, just getting everything in order. Pretty excited about this one. Very, very tricky bit of racetrack, 3.44 kilometres.
Yes. 12
turns, and look, the way these guys go about their business tonight will be a lot of management, I would think, as opposed to just brute attack. I think this place, it just builds itself into potentially a night of attrition if they get it wrong. But I tell you what, fresh air will be key here. Tonight's schedule, obviously we are in qualifying at the moment.
We are.
Times will start rolling in, but got the sprint race first one up, and then back that up with a feature of a 35 reverse top 15. So I think that's going to be critical. I think the guys looking to succeed in this one have got a lot of work to do in the second one, because what a tricky place to pass. We know how skilled these guys are, but very, very cool piece of racetrack. As James mentioned, starts out relatively quick turn 1, and then as they build into the lap, it just gets tighter and tighter. It just almost funnels down to very much a single line. In particular, looking at the way that they attack turns 4 and 5, very, very tight couple of right-handers there. So yeah, going to be a fascinating one. Obviously, early days in the series, but lots of big gains to be made tonight is the call, I think, Davo. I think there's going to be some hard luck stories and some opportunity arise.
Absolutely. J-Man couldn't have said it better myself. Yes, tricky track. Look, the pre-race, we watched obviously the pre-race, pre-qualifying practice session, and it was brutal, to be honest, ladies and gentlemen. There was a lot of panel damage. as these guys sort of came, well, we're testing the limits, to say the least. Now is not the time to do it in qualifying now, as they only have, I think, only 2 push laps, I think you were saying,
Yeah,
J-Man, here for the qualifying.
one out lap. Yeah, 1 out lap, 2 flyers, and we're starting to see those really get laid down now. Obviously, Rehan set the benchmark, and then quickly eclipsed by Retro White with the 25.2. That's a very quick time. That is very similar to what we saw in that practice session as well. So 25.2 plays a 25.4, and then Dutchy 25.7. So usual hitters already going towards the top. Jensen Bade obviously on a good one as well. Scotty McKenzie, Gunstone, Brown, Jones just gets into 7th ahead of Brown there. So
nice.
This session, albeit there's still just under 10 minutes on the clock, the big deal with these guys is track space, get out there, get it done. Got an awkward pit entry and exit, we're told, as well. So obviously a little bit of discussion from the stewards around a bit of etiquette on the exit, because the control line where they get on the throttle is well before the exit part of the apex of that turn 1. So going to be an interesting one there, and could get a little spicy out there tonight when it comes to pit stops.
I suspect so. And look, another thing we did notice actually in post-race was it doesn't look there's many opportunities to pass around here. So this will be a difficult night for the boys, I suspect. Even the sprint race, obviously, they really don't have any time to just sort of settle into a rhythm. They've just got to pretty much run qualifying laps for the sprint race, the heat race, to kick things off here tonight. But compulsory pit stop in the second race. But the top 15 reverse grid, J-Man, is what I'm getting to. Top 15 reverse grid for the heat race. Oh, well, that will be interesting around a circuit like Chicago street course here, where there is not a lot of space to move.
No, and look, we know that there is a CPS in race 2, obviously 15-minute sprint race, first one up, and then the second one 35 with a compulsory pit stop, and the requirement is to basically get on the jacks and off again. We did see pretty impressive times at that in the recent past, with obviously just literally going up and then down and gone, opting for no fuel or no tyres. I don't know what's on the cards for the drivers tonight, if anybody's going to look to that, maybe buy themselves some track position. But this track looks like it's going to be very, very tyre hungry, and we do know that the V8 supercar is very fuel sensitive. So I don't know how much roll and coast you can do here. It's
going to be a busy night for the boys. I can see it coming.
Yeah,
busy night for us.
Is.
And I would suspect, mate, quite possibly the stewards as well. So, yes, big night for everybody involved here. Ladies and gentlemen, we start to, well, we sort of kind of, only halfway through the qualifying, although we are starting to see some indicative times already, yeah? So I don't know how many we saw in pre-race. What we got on the grid there? About 25 odd, I think, tonight, J-Man.
Yeah, I do believe it's somewhere around that number. Yeah, just sort of my pickup at the moment, obviously, is obviously with Retro White, Leonardo, Dutch, and Co. all doing theirs. My focus, probably, and no disrespect to anybody else, would be the likes of Kitcher, Lobby, Pepperell, and Co. at the moment, just to see what they've got on offer. They've opted to maybe leave this one a little bit later and get out there and take the second phase, maybe a little bit more rubber laid down, a few less cars out on track. But that is what we're dealing with at the moment, is Ryan Jones and Fraser Clegg just moved comfortably up the field there, P5 and P6. Both of them on 26.0 and a 26.3 respectfully. So a couple of good laps there. And I don't know if that was lap 1 of 2 or 2 of 2. I'll try and get a read on the attitude of Ryan Jones's car, see if he's in attack mode or maybe just bringing the car. No, he looks to be still very much in the gas. So maybe a bit more to come from those boys, but good looking times out there. Obviously that 25.199 is a very, very stout time from Zach White.
Yeah,
take some beating.
Oh, absolutely, J-Man. We're just getting the gaps up there now on the leaderboard there, so you can see. Well, how quick that is, actually. It's a quarter of a second. And to Rian, and then literally over half a second back to Dutch at this stage. Obviously, provisional times, or provisional positions at least anyway, as still, what do we got? Ooh, about 5 minutes left in qualifying, and still guys out on track. So, yet to be seen. Freeman, who was speedy last week as well, J-Man, another one to watch. In the number 47, Chevy. Still circulating.
Shout out to Davo to welcome aboard to our Sky 83 Face TV viewers as we tune in to this one, round 3 at Chicago Street Circuit, Grant Park. Or Grant Park, if you probably pronounce it, Davo.
Absolutely. Yes, we must obviously welcome our Sky 83 viewers. J-Man, thank you very much for reminding me. We've got to thank all the relevant people that bring this to you. Allports, Matchbit Entertainment, bring it to you live on the night. Obviously, Gamma Flare Sim Racing as well. And this week's weekly sponsor, Volk Auto Electrical as well. So, get in touch with, I think it's Tim Volk, actually. Doing some nice work with a new business there as well. So support Tim and get in touch with Volk, especially if you got something classic. I hear he likes his classic cars, so definitely get in touch. J-Man, the time is a-ticking for these boys to get this done.
Yeah, Lobby just moved himself up into P11, so he'll be looking for a little bit more. I think this next one is just coming up. Oh, looks to be one of the South Canterbury removal cars, I think. Is it? It could be.
Yes, one of the yes, the Shell Helix
See what
cars.
This here gives them. A couple of P personal bests in those sectors, takes them all the way up to P5 on a 25.87. So he'd be pretty happy about that. Gives himself a good third row start here alongside, at the moment, looks to be Ryan Jones as well. However, I think Russell Pepperell's still pressing on, I believe, in a lap at the moment.
And Vandenberg still on track as well. I've got a couple out there, actually. Edgar back on track as well. Robbie Badbury circulating, as is a Black Fitz in, I think, the trademark Bright. Look at that one.
Yeah,
bright,
bit of a fan.
Bright green. So Fitzy getting it done. Tricky track. Keeping it clean. Edgar. Man, those Canterbury cars look awesome, J-Man.
Yeah, look, I thought the previous season, the Ford Credit inspired ones were awesome, but look, I guess the early days of DJR works very well as well, the sort of Helix inspired. I love what these guys do.
It just works, doesn't it? So, yeah, big fan. Oh, good looking race car.
Yeah, Vandenberg is, I believe, on his second hot one here. So he's got a couple of personal bests going on here as well through Sector 1 and Sector 2. Just needs to finish the lap off tidy here. He's only got, where is he? He's only got one more turn to make. Does Pete Vandenberg, if he can get this one nice and tidy. A couple of 90s to finish the lap, degrees. Makes it incredibly hard for them to get all the power down. And where does that land? Pete Vandenberg up into P12, just behind Fitzy, 26.81.
Yes.
And by my calculations, that should probably wrap the qualifying session out, viewers. And well done once again to Zach Rattray White.
Absolutely. Absolutely, J-Man. Well, these guys just get themselves back in the pits and have a little bit of a break and maybe a couple of adjustments and get these cars on the grid. We will talk about, just quickly, this little prize. Little prize, I hear you say. No, it is a massive prize, actually. It is the Get a Sim competition. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you too could be sitting in this rig. Seat, pedals, rig, the lot. All you got to do is get your phones out, ladies and gentlemen, and thank Gamma Flare and Matchfit Entertainment and Supercars NZ and Mozza and Simplex in the process. But get your phones out, ladies and gentlemen, and scan that QR code. No cost to sign up, and you too could be out here in Chicago maybe next season in a V8 supercar in your own sim rig. So yeah, definitely worth getting involved in that one.
Yeah,
Ladies and gentlemen,
great initiative
absolutely.
there from all the sponsors, and definitely good times out there at the moment with everybody aligned. It's a great place to be in the sim racing community and world at the moment. So get amongst it, get your phones out, give it a scan, chuck us a like, maybe a subscribe as well. Helps our algorithms and bring this all to you and make all these things happen, doesn't it, Davo? So,
absolutely. Definitely hit the like and subscribe if you're new to the channel, and obviously notifications. We're streaming 4 times a week, ladies and gentlemen. There's so much going on at Matchfit Entertainment. It's not just a Tuesday night. As we see the boys start populating the grid, I probably should get a little bit of vision going on here. So we will get to the action, ladies and gentlemen, eventually. Yes, there you go. Zach, Rayan, Andrew Dutch, Jensen Bay, Darryl Lobb, all showing there on the first 2 front rows of the grid. And there is said grid. I think we've got about 26 actually on track, maybe more, 7, 8. I'm not sure.
Yeah, might be close
There's
to
a few
it.
there. There's definitely a few there. So.
Yeah, take a couple of the race steward, the monster trucks out there, and you're probably close to your first mark, mate. But look, I don't mind when they come out. As the lights go up, I'll give you the race start, Davo.
Yes, lights are green, and the boys are go for round 3. Rayan bogging the car right off the mark there, and I think that is Lobb.
Jensen Bade was the big mover, and Lobb.
And Lobby straight past. So not the time or the place to do it. He's also, actually, Jones, there's a few other guys really trying to muscle in on that action as well, with Rayan trying to get that car up to speed. Lost plenty of patience in so far already.
Yeah, that was a great launch from Zach Rattray White.
Oh, he's just taken off.
Absolutely got that thing hooked up off the line and checked out, and it'll take some catching, but
absolutely.
tucked behind.
So Bade, Dutch, Jones all past Rayan with that slightest of mistakes, just bogging the car off the start line. A good, reasonable, clean start. I can't see anything flashing at my data that we're meant to go and have a look at. So surprisingly, and look, as we just pick up on this, that Kitta. What just happened behind Kitta? Cozzy and
Freedom
Edgar.
Crash, Stone Street, Callahan, all in an accident. Some pretty busted up cars. The 044 car does not look good. No rear spoiler. Got another car facing backwards.
A few involved there, J-Man. That is actually seen. It looks like at least 5 or 6 cars. Rayan actually too. We're going to just stick to a replay here. It's showing on my data that that car has crashed. Let's have a look at this one. Oh, he's pulled that car up. He's pulled that car up. Not sure what was going on there.
Yeah, lots to unpack for race control at the moment. The airwaves are truly alight at the moment. So I'll leave that be, and maybe we focus a little bit on what is a fantastic battle right now up front with realistically Jones, Dutch, Fraser Clegg. Big move down the inside.
Oh, can he make it stick? Very tricky stuff. Getting a little bit of a lag there, I think. Might be the Bade car. It's having a bit of a flash at us every now and then.
Yeah.
Clegg, should I say, tucked him up in that, as is Gunstone. So, that's actually Fitzy keeping up with that battle as well. Only a couple of laps in so far.
Yeah. So 2 seconds to the tune is the lead of Retro White at the moment, Davo. He is really making the most of the fresh air. The only other contender at the moment is obviously Darren Lobb and Dutch trying to go with it. Good little battle, like I said. Ryan Jones, Jensen Bade, trading positions recently. Talked about how sensitive the cars were on the walls here, and it doesn't take much to upset, I guess, the mechanicals on these things. A little bit too much of a rub on the wall here and there, and can be visiting pit lane pretty quickly.
Absolutely. A lot going on the leaderboard there, ladies and gentlemen. You can see the intervals between the car. Some seriously close racing.
And Turn through the pit lane as well, so he has come up short somewhere as well.
Oh, J-Man, the boys just picked up on a replay of that only moments ago. That car was bad, and then it just got badder as it drove into the wall. It did not look good.
Not good. I'll tell you what's good. Late fits all over the back of Michael Gunstone as they come through this tightest part, I believe, the racetrack, turns 4 and 5.
This is a hot little battle here. Fitz and Gunstone, J-Man, and it's not over.
Looks ominous. Yeah. Little touch of the brake halfway down the front straight there from Michael Gunstone. Kind of was almost like it, no, you can take that. I'll just tuck him behind. Right now, at the moment, as we stand, Jason Cossey in the box seat for a front row start. If it was to finish like this with a reverse 15 in the feature. However, money saying that it's going to stay like that. We are only 5 minutes in as Fitz fires it into the wall. Very, very heavy. That would have definitely bent something.
Oh, man. So we were actually on board out of the Fitz Camaro there, looking back at Michael Gunstone chasing, and you could see clearly the sparks flying off the rear quarters of that car, and again just starts to rub some of that very tidy paintwork off the car through this very technical Chicago street circuit. J-Man, these guys flat out, and only just 5 minutes in, and Fitz again tags the wall.
Yeah. Well, it's a narrow racetrack, Dave. It's completely understandable that he wants to try and just decrease the width of that thing just so it fits easier. I get it. I understand it.
Okay.
Unfortunate for Daryl Callahan, 137 car, copped a drive-through penalty there imposed by the race steward there. So that was maybe one of the incidents unpacked from a little earlier. So that makes it a tough race one.
Yep.
But Daryl, as he looks to go and get that penalty served. But hey, look, am still watching this battle. Jensen Bade, Ryan Jones, Andrew Dutch. A little bit of air gap up the road to Darren Lobb, still strong in second, trying to just keep the silhouette of Retro White in the distance.
Oh yeah, look, and that's an effort in itself. If we'll just actually get a roof shot over the back of Zach's car there, and yeah, he's just there. Lobby's still, you get some little glimpses of him there at the end of these short straights before he tips that car into the next corner. The Camaro looking fast again here this week, J-Man. So yeah, Lobby in a little bit of clean air there, isn't he? In between the leader and this lot, which is Jones and Bade going at it. Should I say Dutch and Jones, and then Bade and Clegg in the background there. Michael Gunstone actually dropped off the back of the fence there somewhere.
Coming to the clutches of Scotty McKenzie now, and I just think almost looks to me that Gunstone's taken a safely approach to this racetrack.
Yeah.
And, you know, the longer this thing goes on, I think the better off he'll be.
Yeah, well, lucky they don't get time penalties for damage repair in between sessions, I tell ya. Because some of these guys, some well-beat cars out there. But look, that little pack there from Gunstone back, Mackenzie, Brown, Pepperell, and Vandenberg in the background.
Eyes on that,
yeah. So that is a big little fight there going on. You can see all those guys well in touch. 5 cars in that little battle. Fitz, actually, Blake just stretching his lead on that little lot. I'm sure they'll end up slowing themselves down a little bit. But there is no real advantage to get these things side by side anywhere around here, is there, J-Man? There's like, pretty much nowhere from what we've been viewing, haven't we, tonight?
No, look, there's a couple of sends down the inside on the brakes if you've got a bit of the drive. I mean, this one here in particular, come out of 12 and head down to turn 1, and if you've got the overlap, you can certainly try and cover that off under brakes, because there's a little bit of momentum into this one here. And this is the corner that we're going to talk a little bit about when we go to the feature and pit stops become in effect, because the drivers have been told to allow a car width to the right-hand side if they are on a hot lap, and cars are entering the racetrack from the pit lane. Just a courtesy thing to try and keep everything civil, but that is going to prove difficult at times, I'm sure. But yeah, this part of the racetrack now, where they're rolling into, fantastic, nice and flowy through the right-handers there, down through 3, 4, 5, and then deep under brakes. This is another one that could present an opportunity if you've got overlap, left-hander into 6.
And then up over the crest, J-Man, yeah, so pretty much without a like minor or major mistake there from one of the boys, as we continue to see sparks, shavings going off the side of these cars. And as long as they keep that to a minimum, they will keep them in relatively good nick, but it only takes just that overestimation sometimes, and it would be disastrous. Very, very close racing.
Well, speaking of close racing, Davo, Ryan Jones really applying the pressure to the back of Andrew Dutch now, so knows that there's a potential podium on offer there, and effectively just that little bit further up the grid, once the reverse effect comes into play for the feature, it's just one less spot that he's got to make.
Yeah.
Well, no, actually, then he has to make, sorry.
That is Lob just there, isn't it? Yes, it is. You see him back off.
Yeah, Lobby's just there, and you can see just up in the distance, you see Rattray White just tipping into
So these guys keeping good pace. Definitely in touch with the boys. Just looking now, Lob like just trying to manage that gap, so he doesn't have to deal with them. But he doesn't have to push the car too much, so it looks like he's just sort of monitoring that gap. And just trying to keep that, what I suppose he would think is a safe distance. The car doesn't look damaged, and it's still tracking straight, so it's not like he's tagged the wall and come back to these boys. It just looks like they've sort of up their game a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so, definitely.
G'day Ken Worcester, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, see you there, Wheels. Cheers for the watch, mate. Hope you're enjoying the show. these guys are certainly putting one on a, I guess, a part of the world and racetrack that certainly be put here to test them tonight. Not a lot of room to move, but by all accounts they are doing a fantastic job. A little bit of feeling at the start of this one. A few cars going to need a re-wrap between race 1 and race 2.
Maybe,
so, all's good and well out the front, and in particular Gunstone doing a nice job holding off Scotty McKenzie and Russell Pepperell at the moment. Pete Vanderberg also in tow there, so a nice little five-way battle going on there, and they've still got eyes on Blake Fitz up the road, and yeah, I'm surprised that car's tracking along as well as it is, actually, the Fitzy car, because it's certainly grabbed some memorabilia off the wall, as James referenced earlier. Do not try and redecorate the walls here at Chicago. It will cost you.
It's easily done too, as we just pick up on Callahan just pretty much destroying that car there with a minor mistake. So, yes, this will keep your wits about you. That's what keep you on your game, as it has so far for these boys. Fitz. A little bit of a gap on the boys behind him there. It's Gunstone holding back these four. Mackenzie Brown, and it is Pepperell. It's actually Pepperell and Vanderberg in the background as well. So good little group. We knew this mid-pack would be good. We just by analysing the pre-race practice times, didn't we, J-Man? We sort of looked at it and we went, oh, this mid-pack's going to be tight. And look at these guys.
Yeah. And you referenced it, as well. We saw them, those guys that were sort of circling in the high 26s, low 27s in quali trim. They're now 28s in race trim, and then the front boys are 26 or 27 lows in race trim. And you can kind of get the feeling that this is what was going to happen. And these guys here, talk about Gunston, McKenzie, Pepperell, Vanderberg and co. They're all well and truly accustomed to racing each other. They've done it plenty of times before, and it shows out there now, lap after lap. They're in the train, nothing stupid, looking for an opportunity to do little rises, but not forcing the issue. They're playing the long game here, these boys. There's still another one to go, and all looks pretty civil out there at the moment, so well done. But back to the front runner, because he will only have this lap to run. He has just commenced the final lap, so white flag was out. And got a handy 5-second lead, does Zach Rattray White over Darren Lobb and Andrew Dutch, obviously still clinging on to that final podium spot with Ryan Jones and tow, Davo. So, and that's been effectively a 15-minute duel up to this point. We saw the great jump at the start from Lobby and Bade, I think it was at the time. Bade back in 5th position, only just sitting there. So what was accomplished from a great start is pressed on for these boys. So just really goes to show qualifying's pretty essential at this racetrack, given that passing's not at a premium.
Absolutely. And as we wind down here, J-Man, Zach White, Rattray White, heading towards the finish line to wrap up tonight's heat race here at Chicago, round 3. And after a couple of beautiful tracks, Road America and Road Atlanta, they come here and to go to battle, which is awesome to see. But what happened just there? Jones and Dutch exchange positions right at the end there.
Yeah, I did just see that at the dying moments there.
So there you go. We'll call them as you see them there: Zach, Darren Lobb, Ryan Jones, Andrew Dutch, Jensen Bade, Fraser Clegg, Blake Fitz. Ladies and gentlemen, is he still on track, dragging that thing home, and it is well damaged. And then that lot in the background. So yeah, awesome work. So Fitz, Gunstone, Scott McKenzie and Will Brown rounding out the top 10. Then we had Pepperell, Peter Vanderberg, Kitcher, Turner, Leonard, Cozzy, Edgar, Daly, Bradbury, Stone Street, Freeman, Jones, and then I think there might have been a couple of DNFs, I'm not sure. Phil Antoon looks like one of them, definitely, and possibly Callahan. There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, look, Dutch got probably pretty lucky there to end up where he did, mate, because got word that he had a hardware failure there, wheel disconnected right at the back end there. So, yeah, unfortunate,
ouch.
but just to just hang on in there. So, yeah, these things can happen.
Absolutely, they can. Absolutely, J-Man. Let's have a quick look at the points. As we've got a moment before the boys reset for the main game, the feature race here, J-Man. I think it was 35 laps or 35 minutes or something. But here you go.
35.
There's the leaderboard. J-Man, Zach White.
Yeah, so Retro White, by his performance so far, leading the way there, 330 points over Rehan. Leonard just going to take a little bit of a hit out of that sprint race. Did not feature to his usual best in that one. Obviously had some issues at the start of that one and a little bit further back as well. We saw him falling down the order. Darren Lobb takes out P3 at this point. Dutchy, then William Brown, Ryan Jones, Stefan McCartan, obviously absent at the moment here tonight. Didn't see him out there. Thomas Freeman, Blake Fitz, and Fraser Clegg in the 10, and obviously we can see Jensen Bade, Gunstone, Jones, all those guys are tight, sharing the points there for 12th, and then Pete Vanderberg, Russell Pepperell, Shane Edgar, Mitchell Sparrow, Jack Marr, Jason Cossey and Robbie Bradbury to round out the 20. But I tell you what, when you look at that points tally, there's some very, very close battles that are going to look a little different, I think, as far as the point structure when we show that graphic next week. We always knew that the Concrete Canyon here at Chicago was going to maybe throw a spanner in the works, viewers, for what is the championship. You can see the calendar there. Obviously, Chicago Street Circuit it is, and VIR, so Virginia next week, that will be a little bit more flowy, mate.
Beautiful track.
Let these things loose. Let them eat the racetrack on that one. A great calendar looking here. Very, very good looking back end too as well. I'm a big fan of the Charlotte circuit. Have had a drive there actually in the recent past, and quite the fan.
Yes, and actually Long Beach is another street circuit that we'll be at as well for round 5, and it's actually another street circuit, but I think it's a little bit more forgiving. I've driven Long Beach. I've never been here in Chicago, but yeah, a little bit more forgiving. So always an interesting mix here at Supercars NZ, and we will once again thank Supercars NZ for putting on this wonderful season here again in conjunction with Allports Motorsports, and obviously Matchbit Entertainment bringing all of that to you live. Gamma Flare Sim Racing, massive supporter of everybody. Weekly sponsor is Volk Auto Electrics. Get over and talk to Tim. And thank you and welcome, and always going to Sky 83 delayed telecasts on, I think, on the weekend. So awesome and welcome, and thank you for everybody tuning in either on Sky or live here tonight on YouTube. So J-Man, these guys have got a couple of minutes yet to go in this warm-up before we hit this all again. Actually, we'll just poke this little bit of a graphic up because we do have a couple of minutes. We did talk about it, touched on it a little bit earlier. It is the Get a Sim giveaway, proudly brought to you by Gamma Flare, Matchbit Entertainment, Supercars NZ, Mozza, everybody on the left there. Anyway, get your phones out, scan that QR code, free to enter, ladies and gentlemen, and you too could be sitting in that rig sometime soon. I think it's drawn on June. I think it's actually the last round of the Supercars Autumn Series. So there you go. Mark that one in your calendar. Actually, mark next weekend in your calendar as well for the Match Pit Events Road America 450. And if you haven't signed up, you should have. But that's on this Sunday. But yeah, get your phones out quickly, scan that QR code. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we might start to see the boys populating this grid sometime very soon. So let's start getting some vision. Hang on a second. Are we ready for this, ladies and gentlemen?
Absolutely.
Let's get this
Just
show
watching
on the
this
road.
grid populate, Davo, and interesting that Rihan worked his way back out of that unfortunate result in race 1.
Go figure.
To be 15th, which gives him the opportunity to lead this one away. And I tell you what, it's a great opportunity. We've seen drivers in the past do this and literally, you know, make this work.
Mate,
Obviously, there's a lot on the table. It's the 35 minutes. It's a compulsory pit stop to undertake. You know, there's potentials for safety cars. As the lights come up, I'll give you the race start, Dave.
Absolutely, J-Man. The lights are green. This is the feature race here at Chicago for round 3. Ladies and gentlemen, Rian with a massive start that time, leaving Kitcher and Turner behind. In the background, though, Turner, Turner going at it, and there's Kitcher, I think, in the wall, J-Man in the background.
Yep, he's facing the wrong way.
We knew this was going to be how hectic. Well, how long's a piece of string? These boys actually being very well behaved through the first couple of quarters with what looks like only one casualty so far, J-Man. Can that be right? Seriously. Nice work.
Yeah, look. And this is where it gets busy. You know, you've got your Retro Whites, your Lob Dutch, Jones, Gunston, Bay, all of them. They're all trying to move their way to the front. They have got 35 minutes plus a pit stop to do it, but they'll try and make as much out of this compressed field as they possibly can in the early stages of this one. And we can already see that Retro White grabbed a couple of spots already, up to P12. Looking to size up, goes out wide, looking to remove on Gunstone, but Gunstone covers, parks the car in the middle of the racetrack, says not yet.
Well, he didn't really have anywhere until Gunstone yielded to Jones, because they were actually side by side. And, oh, here we go, Zach with a big move. It's done with obviously some help from Gunstone, giving that little bit of space. Look who's coming through past
Lobby's
him
following.
So
and there's a car around just ahead of shot. This is going to be...
that is Dutch going backwards, J-Man.
Yeah, Lob only just got down the right-hand side of that. But Andrew Dutch...
Actually, is that Bade? Maybe.
That was Jensen Bade. We've got another one. Who was that? I think that is William Brown.
Oh, yeah, and I'm just looking at what you were calling there, J-Man, in the background as Zach went through. I think Gunstone actually got tangled up in it, pushed it out of the road for the rest of... Man, oh, man.
And I tell you what, the two cars that managed to skate on by was Retro White and Darren Lobb, as Retro White puts a move down the inside into turn 1.
On Jones.
On Jones, and that was a textbook move into there. A little bit of overlap, give yourself the opportunity down into 1. It's beautifully done. Gives Lobby some work to do now. But Rehan already checking out 2.7 seconds. He knows he's got to run. He knows the pace of the Retro White car. It's a longer format, this one. 35 minutes on offer for the drivers, plus the pit stop.
And we saw them even in the short heat race, J-Man, really trying to relax, weren't they, and trying not to push the cars in this longer format. That could improve difficult. I mean, just the sheer fatigue alone, the concentration required to keep a car pointing in a straight line and undamaged around here is no mean feat. Leonard's away. Prepperall in second. Will Brown in third currently with a little bit of air behind him before you see Turner's car and Blake Fitz. Blake actually has got plenty on his hands, J-Man, there. That's Clegg.
Yeah. Clegg and Vanderberg right in there. And then a hard charging Retro White coming as well. Lobby hasn't unlocked the Ryan Jones puzzle. He's probably caught somebody with similar speed, to be honest, at the moment.
Yep.
Might just settle in and see if they can bank some laps and follow that 17 car just up ahead of shot as close as they can. As we see it get compressed again, this is the byproduct of a reverse grid. You know, every move that Retro White's made and tried to clear away from Jones and Dutch, all of a sudden gets tucked up and behiin the pack again and enables these guys as he fires another move, similar spot that he did.
It is exactly the same corner, J-Man. Again, just gets the car settled down.
Here you go, 99.
That was close. Wow. No mucking around, ladies and gentlemen, here.
Well, it was a team car, so there might have been a little bit of a quick memo through message through the radio about that one.
I didn't think so.
But yeah, good opportunities. You know, the assertiveness of Retro White when he gets down to that through the racetrack. We saw it was exactly the same move that he pulled with Michael Gunstone.
And we're just picking up on my data here, J-Man, that Gunstone has had an accident. And look, we're just picking up on the replay here. And look, the car was already damaged. Looks like it just gets snagged up with, that looks like the...
Antoon.
That is Antoon. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yep. In the match pitch Gamma Flare car. So unfortunate for both, but Gunstone's car looks well damaged, Jamie. And that was from that tag on Bade there with after Bade's little spin earlier on. A lot going on at the start of that race.
Another textbook move from Zach. Yeah, gets through on Fraser Clegg, starts lining up Blake Fitz. So Jonesy and Lobby have got a bird's eye view of how to get these passes done. They've got him up ahead of shot, just showing them this is how you pass cars at Chicago, boys.
Yeah.
And by all accounts, Jones and Lobb doing a great job with it, as well as obviously Vanderberg just tagged onto the back of that, and he didn't put up too much fight to the teammate.
Out of the back of Blake Fitz's car, we will sort of continue this coverage of Zach White's run through the field here, because it is actually quite impressive, J-Man. We both talked it up a little bit, but it's without a doubt, it's a masterclass. One particular braking area.
Already forecasted, looking for a run here. Down into...
To hold his nerve and just breaks late. It's usually up here that he's been doing it. And gets it done early on Fitz there. Now he can focus on Turner.
Yeah, so this is the car that had an engine expire last week. So a lot better showing this one.
Is that Turner? Yeah. And Turner's car actually still, although still running, is showing a little smidge of damage. No, I'm not being judgy, Ridley. I'm just saying it's got a little smidge of damage on it. So you know, maybe I'm sort of making excuses for you. Maybe it's not driving exactly the way you like it. But Zach is definitely well behind him. I'm picking up my data that's Lob has had a accident. We're just trying to pick up on this replay now.
Yeah, and he's just lost one to Freeman as well.
Oh, he's outbraked himself. He's put the car, to avoid a collision, has put the car into the tyre barrier and then was vulnerable to Freeman. Looked like he almost tried to block Freeman in the replay there, but Freeman's hadn't. What's going on? I'm not having it, that, mate. That is my position, fair and square, and Freeman passed.
Yeah, just trying to get a read. So last lap round, Rian 26.26 was the lap time at personal best and a session best of a 25.970 with the luxury of that fresh air.
And look at it, it's a lot, actually. It's a lot of fresh air.
26.5 last lap round for Retro White, obviously dealing with traffic. Got a little bit of fresh air up the road now to William Brown, so he's going to let the hang on. Yeah, he has got a bit of an air gap. Let this thing eat a little bit and see what sort of lap time he can produce.
Won't be long, J-Man. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Okay. 26.7 plays 27.2s for the two cars in front of him, which is Russell Pepperell and William Brown. So certainly made a comfortable half a second on those boys last lap around. So look for that deficit, which is currently 2.2 second to close up in the coming laps. We are approaching the 10-minute mark, which naturally means the pit lane, you will see that become open right on the 10-minute mark. No end time to that. The guys can effectively run it right close towards that last lap. Which gives them plenty of opportunity. What we do know is these cars are quite fuel sensitive, and I'll tell you what, we did see a stop in the recent pass with a guy that got up and down off the jacks. That's the requirement, 0.01 of a second.
Yes, and it was like, you know, that mind explosion meme that you see. That was basically both J-Man and I's reaction. It was just like, what the hell happened there? Do those jacks even work that quick? But yes, it is a thing. It is doable. Well, clearly we saw it the other week, didn't we? So impressive stuff. Who was that actually? Did we have that? Oh, that was Pepperell, wasn't it? I think it was
Russell Pepperell. Yeah, he was looking to buy some track position. So leaders times 26.7 for Rian, 27.2 for Pepperell, 27.7 for William Brown, and a 26.4. The fast man out there at the moment, Zach Retro White. He is coming at a time, as we just heard, pit lane is now open, so look for that.
Let's get the gains and losses throughout this field. J-Man up on the totem, on the leaderboard there. And just get your eyes on the gains from Zach Rattray White, 11 positions up and now sitting in, what did you say, just over 10 minutes, now sitting in 4th position and well on the chase and heading quickly towards Will Brown.
Nice moves too from Thomas Freeman, up 11 spots as well. Davos obviously had some dramas in race 1, but making amends in this one as well, so he's placing nicely at the moment, up at P10, so good work.
Absolutely. Freeman, and look, Freeman was a bit of a standout last week as well. J-Man, I think he just had one of those nights, you know, where it's just tough, and it just got tangled up maybe in other people's business, and really didn't before. But his pace is there, genuine pace from Tom Freeman there. So always one to watch. Look at that train of cars there. That is Lob, Freeman, Vanderberg, Clegg, Jones, Fitz and Turner. And we were just talking about Ridley there earlier. That was the one with the detonating engine at Road Atlanta.
Retro White with a bit of Morse code on the back of William Brown's car. Gives him a message, says, mate, I'm just letting you know I'm coming through down the left-hand side next time through. Gets that job done. Sees him go up to P3, 9.9 seconds off the lead of this race, however, so 8.9 seconds for Russell, but 9.9 away from the hard-charging Rehan Leonard. you know, he's going to be hard to stop from that position. Very, very good driver is Rehan, and looking to make amends for a disappointing sprint race here tonight.
Yes.
And looking to capitalise on that performance. So good battles. Lobby's still in recovery mode, trying to chase down Thomas Freeman. We just had eyes on that car, and those guys back there for 9th and 10th, and lapping in the low 27s.
Oh, just watch an exchange between Fitz and Turner.
Yep.
Now that has brought, who's that? That is Jones. They nearly went three.
Ryan Jones.
Well, they were definitely 3 wide in the bracket here, and it's still on between Fitz and Jones.
Yeah, well, watch out, because Thomas Freeman and Darren Lobb are going to join this party as well, because these guys can't organise who wants to go first.
It's getting messy back there. Turner's just like, I'm out of there. Whoa.
Oh, this is good stuff, as we see.
Oh, it's
that
Jones
was Jones
damage.
with a tag on the walls, allows Fitz back through.
Oh, and here comes bloody Freeman, J-Man.
And Lobb.
And Lobb. Oh, yeah. Turner just took off. He's just like, no, you guys can have that. And look at him. Side by side, 2 in a row.
It'll
2
do
up.
nothing for the lap time, but it's doing everything for the camera crew.
Oh. You know it, J-Man. Oh, and the sparks out of the back of Freeman's car off the rear quarters. As again, he just tries to move and you can hear the guard. Oh, and there's
look at the
how
awkward
late.
pit entry there.
Whoa, how late was that? That was Jones. Man, that was close.
Yeah. So we're starting to see a few pit stops now. Obviously, Bradbury, Daly, Gunstone, and Toon Kitchen all made their pit stops. We've also got Ridley, Turner, Ryan Jones, Pete Vanderberg as well. I think in the lane. So looking to see.
Wow. So that's Zach past Pepperell already as well. I don't even think we picked up on it. Let's find that. Whoa.
Okay, so let's watch that gap. That gap is 10 seconds effectively. Rehan versus Ratchet White. The times were Rehan stepped it up. 27-0, plays a 27-1 for Ratchet White. Ratchet White probably had a pass in that lap on, I would think, Russell Pepperell that would have made. So it gets to sort of shake itself out now. As we see the times now in pit lane starting to go through. Troy Stone Street made for an early stop. Got himself in a track position. We know how effective the undercut is here. Obviously pay a little bit of an invoice later on. Maybe on that tyre, but...
It's Ridley in the wall, J-Man. That is sad to see here. Oh, he's glanced the inside.
Yeah, it's a big one, so he's been given the meat walk. Lobby and Freeman, both in the pits too, Davo.
Oh, no.
For a tow truck at the moment. Pretty efficient stop there from Darren Lobb. 7 seconds. A dose of fuel. Potentially just going to keep that tyre on it as we approach the halfway mark effectively, Davo.
Yes. And there has been a lot going on. I don't have to tell you that. There has been a hell of a lot going on.
Nice.
Start of the race was hectic. Yes.
Nice timing too, I think, for Lobby to make that. Came out with some fresh air as well, so I think that will work favourable for him. Let the car just use that race pace that he's got. He is in a pretty good battle with the likes of Jones, and I think it was also William Brown and those boys. We saw them, there was about 5 of them came together just before that pit stop peeled off, and obviously Michael Jones, I think, was one of the first to go. However, just slightly snaggy time. Did he go? I'm just trying to see if he did go, actually. Not getting a read on his time there, Davo, on Michael Jones. Did he?
Dutch in the pits.
Oh, no, it was Ryan Jones, sorry. It was Ryan Jones that went early, didn't he?
Yes. With a very awkward pit entry. That's
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, every one of them's awkward. Yeah. So his was quite an efficient stop. I just don't know why he's so far back.
Okay, so we can get up. Actually, I'll give you pit times. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Pit times coming to a leaderboard near you. Right there. So
There you go.
There it is. Scott McKenzie with 6.1 and Ryan Jones with 3.0. J-Man, the quickest.
There's more to that story. So obviously Ryan Jones, car 11, was involved in an incident, and not his fault. My understanding is the stewards have imposed maybe a penalty to the other car. Didn't catch the other number. However, that was why we've seen him drop down the order. Certainly came unstuck with somebody else out there. However, he was in a great battle with the likes of Darren Lobb and co. So jet space, just try and get a read on our leaders out there. Last time I looked, it was 10 seconds. It is now
12.6.
By way of, I would suspect that means that
well, Zach's out of the
White
picture,
has
so
gone to
gone to the pit lane.
yeah, he's gone to the pit.
Yep.
And he does a 7. Is that what I'm calculating? 7 seconds. Is that the read on the total time, or is that the jack time?
I think it's the jack time. To be honest, J-Man. Correct me if I'm wrong, but what have we got there?
7 seconds for Zach.
Zach's showing
lines up the same
11.2
as
on
Lobb.
the. So if you look at the leaderboard, that's what I'm getting at the moment. That's the Australian broadcasting tax. Right there.
Right.
So, and who has stopped? Who has stopped? We can give you that as well, ladies and gentlemen. There you can see all the way up to position 7th.
Okay, so I'm getting a read on it now. 7 seconds was the pit time. 14.85 was the transit.
So, Rian in the pits, Pepperell in the pits, Brown, Fitz, Edgar also rolling into the pit lane. Is it well
So
in one of the category cars?
Rian out. Behind Fraser Clegg, unstopped.
Yes.
We'll get a settling down of what that gap looks like, and it looks like 8.1, so a couple of seconds from when I last looked, to the tune of Racho White just closing that down a little bit. However, 21 and a half minutes
though,
of
isn't it?
35, 35 scheduled. He can see him up the road. However, though, he just saw him disappear into the left-hander, so effectively a carrot out there. The Supercars NZ Gamma Flare car tucked up and behind Fraser Clegg, and unstopped, will not be getting any blue flags. He's allowed to race this one, so I don't know if there's a message coming from Clegg saying that he's going to stop. It's awkward pit lane. It's almost like every driver's got to be ready at this point of the race for a car in front of them unstopped, peel off awkwardly.
And you would hope they would call it too, wouldn't you, Jay? Because there it is right there, ladies and gentlemen, as we just get out of the room. Rian's car there. Very tricky, and you would need to be doing at least half of the race speed, wouldn't you? Race pace to get that sorted.
Here we go. Got a good run then. Does he send it? Oh, it's tight.
That is
Close enough. And in the interim, Racho White sets the fastest lap of the race on a 25.29, so he knows that this is the opportunity. He knows that Rehan is bottled up behind Fraser Clegg. There's an opportunity. We see it go from 8 seconds to 6.4 it's diminishing by way of a little bit of traffic, setting the rhythm here for Rayan. We'll look for a big move down here as they head down to turn 1, tucks it down on the inside. Clegg didn't make it easy on him.
He definitely didn't make it easy, and like you said, rightly so, that was a genuine 4-position race there, J-Man, with Clegg unpitted. So
It wasn't 1, it was 6. 9, sorry. Yeah, so gets it done. So the damage is, it's now 5.4 seconds back to Rattray White. So battle on. This is it. It's a sprint home from here.
it is.
Pretty much show what pace you've got. So who's that? Jensen Bay.
So that'll theoretically put Pepperell in 3rd. He hasn't got a hell of a lot of gap over Brown, but probably got his measure pace-wise. Lobby in recovery mode's done really well to sort of drag that back a little bit. And Freeman has literally just kept his nose clean and got that car in a 7th position there, J-Man, which is awesome. I just want to see. Freeman is up 14 positions. Like, more
an impressive drive.
More than Zach White. I mean, like, seriously. Like, I think I called it earlier. I think he had a really tough round last week, and probably deserved more gains. But look at that! What an awesome showing.
Yeah, and obviously Clegg's still got to come in as well. That'll give him another spot. Him and quite a few others will get that opportunity. Obviously Rattray White still has to clear. Clear. So what are we looking at now?
The big fight's actually just right in the middle of the pack again.
Here he goes.
Like we were. So Clegg into the pit lane, J-Man. Thank you for that. But yes, again, the battle is most definitely in the mid-pack, and it is between... Fitzy's just out in front of this lot. Vandenberg... Oh, and even Vandenberg... It's actually McKenzie that leads that pack now. Oh, it's even further back. Sorry. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. It's Jensen Bade leading that pack over Stone Street. And there you go. Live on camera there. Jensen Bade getting that thing into the pit lane. Whoa. Just have a look at this. Yeah. Tough gig around the barrels there. Yeah, ending up in the barrels there. So did a fantastic job. And already out, J-Man. Already out.
Yeah, very quick stop.
Yep.
Very quick stop. 5 seconds the marker at the top end of town, but back-to-back 25.2s
Yep.
For Rattray White versus 25.9 for Rayan. And that gap just sitting at that 4.8 to 5 seconds. You can physically see him in multiple parts of the racetrack now as they're tipping it in through the right hand to come out onto the front straight, and he can watch Rayan disappearing just now, tipping it into turn 1. Once again,
10 minutes, J-Man. Is it
25,
doable? Is it?
26.5 plays a 25.8. Yes, it is doable.
Oh, it fits hard into the wall on the replay, J-Man. He's definitely damaged that rear suspension in the process. And, it turns the car again. Out of 1. I think it's 1. Oh, maybe it's not, actually. It's the exit of the pit lane there by the looks of it. So.
Who was it? Who are you talking about?
Oh, Fitz. Sorry, J-Man. Hard in the wall there. So, after what has been a great night, I think Fitz has raced really well. To see that car hard in the... I mean, it's still a side shot, but, man, it was hard. So, tough gig. Pinch of the rears on a track this difficult is all it takes as we just get off the roof cam. Once again, it's Zach White's car. J-Man. Every now and then, there it is. There's the glimpse. There's the back of the Gamma Flare, Supercars NZ, Mustang.
There's a car in between them now.
There is.
Not sure who that is.
Yeah, so the one we're looking for is that blue one up there. It's just tipping into the corner there, ladies and gentlemen. That one.
Hey, great job from Russell Pepperell at the moment, currently holding that P3. He's got a 1.2 second gap over William Brown. And obviously Darren Lobb, Thomas Freeman. That's a nice little battle that's forming at the moment as well. So we're going from, I think you mentioned Thomas Freeman at 14 spots up. It's now 15 because Fraser Clegg came in, pitted in.
Oh, that's right.
15 positions made.
Clegg out of position, yes. Okay, 15 positions. So that eclipses Travis's gains as well. And it is, I think we've got eyes on, it is Michael Jones' car, which is the car in between the leader and second position at the moment. And it looks a little bit damaged. And he pulls that car up. He's just like, no, I'm not getting in this fight. Gets well out of it. Gives Zach White plenty of space. J-Man.
Yeah, Darren Lobb doing a nice job at the moment too, just winding in. William Brown winding in Russell Pepperell at the moment. Has he just dropped? He's dropped. He's actually increased the gap, I think, to Robbie. So
yeah,
Brownie doing a good job here.
Yeah, Lobb's struggled tonight, J-Man. He has. It's what we normally expect from Lobb. Maybe not a big fan of the street circuits. And I reckon if we put a poll out to everybody that attended tonight, I think we'd get a lot of that, to be honest, with the majority that aren't real big fans. Nonetheless, this is what we got on tonight before we go to Virginia International Raceway next week. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be a hoop. Vastly different location to where the boys are at. They're probably dreaming of it already. You know, just thinking, oh, Virginia, sweet, smooth corners. So they wrestle these things around the boneyard. It's a killing field out there at the moment. Rian out in front, J-Man with a reasonably healthy lead, 4 seconds, and we are winding down because there's only a little over 5 minutes to go. Zach White cannot be ruled out. Definitely in touch. Pepperell.
I think Rian's responded though. This lap time will probably give us an idea of where he's at. 26.4 that round for a 26.2 for Racho White. So we're still hovering around that 4 seconds with only around about just under 4 minutes left to run in this one. So around about, what does that make? It's probably 3 laps at best left in this one. Brown still putting pressure on this podium opportunity with Russell Pepperell, Davo. Can he make something happen? These guys at the back end of the tyre life, I think we heard that, the tyre stops that maybe are above 8 seconds. The pit stops above 8 seconds may have taken a tyre, but certainly below that may have not. We both know that looking at the data, I think there's a fair few cars that did opt to take a tyre, but certainly I'm looking at a number of them that most certainly didn't. Scotty McKenzie, 6.1, 1.8 for Stone Street. He definitely just went up on the jacks and checked out of there. Yeah, so I think Rehan looks quite comfortable right now, Davo. As the timer starts winding down, barring any major mistakes, he's got a handle on this one. And massive drive from Racho White though, up 13 spots. But Thomas Freeman, what can you say about that? 15 spots. That is a beautiful drive.
Stellar drive, J-Man, absolutely. And we've only got maybe a lap and a half to go here. So the third position is still up for grabs here. Just looking how close these two boys are. It's still very hotly contested position here. Bottom step of the podium. Their chance to jump in the comms box and get a post-race interview with none other than Davo and J-Man as well. You know, that's worth racing for right there, ladies and gentlemen. I tell ya.
Oh, heavy in the wall that time through for William Brown. That might just take the edge off of what he's got for what will be the next lap around, which by my calculation would be close to being the final one. Just trying to get a read on William Brehan. Brehan is at the moment. Okay, he is coming up around turn 11 as we speak. Looking at the timer.
So heading across the line.
White
now,
flag is out.
J-Man.
White flag is out.
There he comes, Zach White out in the final corner. We will pick back up on the Pepperell Will Brown. This is on.
Yeah, and this is for that podium spot. Oh, as we just see Brownie just light it up off a turn 12. Pretty excited to try and maybe get some sort of rundown one here. Yeah, just maybe a little guilty of overdriving the car off the last two turns.
Just overdriving the car a little bit there, J-Man. Possibly. That's Lobby that you can see in the background there. We can just pick it up in there now. And Thomas Freeman, who we have most definitely been talking up, given his gains throughout the race there. You can see that there in his 6th position and up 15 positions, viewers. Yes, you did see that right as he just tags them all pretty hardcore actually through here. Last lap for the boys. Rian bringing the supercars NZ Gamma Flare Mustang home and doing a stellar job. A couple of out of position cars. It's just up in front of him. Zach White still on the chase. Pepperell and Brown. Is that over yet? Doesn't look like it. There goes Rian. And what a stellar effort from the young fella, Zach White. Pepperell. Will Brown.
Yeah. Pepperell's going to hold on from Brownie here.
Final corner. There it is,
Nice
ladies
job.
and gentlemen. Nice work from both of those boys there. Darren Lobb, a little bit of a recovery, had a tough start to this race. And Freeman, stellar effort. Absolutely stellar effort. Clegg there, J-Man.
Yeah, doing a nice job. Led the race for a little bit. Opted for a longer stint before his pit stop and came out with a very, very successful race in the NPC. It's a great job over Pete Vanderberg, Scotty McKenzie and Andrew Dutch.
Oh, that
was
close.
a good battle. I was watching that a couple laps ago.
They were close across
Dutch
the
was
line
putting
there.
a lot of heat on Scotty. For 10th, Shane Edgar, Ryan Jones, Michael Fitz. Here, maybe just ran into a little trouble late in the piece there. Started the final lap, Fitzy.
We're bringing that car home, J-Man.
Yep, Callahan.
Bade, Gunston and Stone Street rolling across the line as well. Robbie Bradbury not too far behind. Still a relatively close pack of cars after 35 minutes there. That is Phil Antoon and Travis Daly. Travis there just beating the last bit of life out of that Mustang through the final corner. With Phil Antoon just in front of there. And Michael Jones, who has had a bit of an up and down night. I'm just going to leave that there as he drives that thing into the pit lane. He's had enough. He's exhausted, J-Man. So there we go. Race is done. J-Man, you have 10 minutes, a little bit less. So let's get this done.
Yeah, no, look, hey, I'm just currently just waiting for the drivers to turn up into the waiting room and
as they do,
grab some refreshments yeah, first cab off the rank. Should we get him down here? Will be Russell Pepperell with a deserving 3rd position. Had to hold on really, really tightly from William Brown at the back end of that one, and did a nice job of that. And obviously, Racho White Rian, we know that was a tale of two going at it. Obviously, Rayan with that beautiful opportunity that he capitalised on, starting with the reverse 15 from first on the grid. Got a much better launch than race one. We saw him bulk the car race one. Didn't make the same mistake twice and absolutely checked out.
Yes.
And literally managed that gap nicely. We saw with a lap and a half to go, I think Racho White maybe just backed out of that a little bit, and it went from 4 seconds out to sort of 4.5, knowing that just a step too far. So that's a massive effort for Racho White. Just beautiful to watch the moves that he was putting on. And first cab off the rank, Dave, will be Russell Pepperell. And we will grab him up and congratulate him. Russell, you got us on comms.
G'day, how's it going?
Good, mate. Hey, look, fantastic drive. We're going to just focus a little bit on that feature. A lot of pressure at the back end from Willie Brown. But how'd your nerve in the car and yourself look good on what was a concrete canyon tonight, mate?
No, it was pretty tidy, right? I didn't feel like I had great pace, but it's one of those places where if you get track position, you can just park the bus and stack people up behind you, so it seemed to work out all right.
Yeah, and a little bit of relief, mate, on that last lap. I think we saw Brownie get a little bit sideways off at 12 and then maybe just push a little hard into one. That probably gave you a sense of relief that I think you knew maybe you had the measure for that back lap. But just talk to us about the opening phase of that, and with a pretty efficient pit stop. What was the talk for, you know, the plan for the pit stop? What were the options that you took there, because it was pretty efficient?
I didn't need to take a lot of fuel. I only took 14 litres, so it was get the bare minimum to meet the pit stop requirement. I think the car had to go up with jacks, so I didn't have to do much.
Good stuff, mate. Well, look, fantastic performance. Obviously, you know, luck favours the brave, and obviously got a much better starting position for that second one. Russell only, you know, had to, still made up a couple of positions over the duration of that one with some incredibly fast drivers around you. So I think, mate, that one, we've seen you actually in the past capitalise from these ones, and it just shows that when you get given the opportunity of the car pace you've got, you can capitalise and make the most of it. You did that tonight, mate, so well done.
Yeah, thanks, guys. It's a good field, so you get opportunities, you got to take it, eh?
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. Any sponsors, mate? Any friends, family, or sponsors you want to give a shout out before we let you go?
Oh, I've got to give a shout out to the crew at Trans-Tasman Racing, plus sponsors Simrix and VRS.
Yeah, absolutely. Good on you, mate. Yeah, TDR, good to see that still out there and still featuring on the podiums after such a long time in the game, mate. Well done.
Thanks very much.
Russell Pepperell.
Go, Russell Pepperell. And we shall get Zach Racho White on the mic here. Massive chase down, 13 spots gained in the feature race. Zach, what's your take on that one, mate? You pretty happy with that performance? Put the demon moves on the field coming through.
Yeah, I think we had a pretty good pace, but I think it was just a matter of me not putting it all together. I think if I was a bit more smooth in some areas of the race, I think it could have been a bit closer to P1, but ultimately I don't think I was catching Rayhan whatsoever. Just too quick.
The numbers tell a different story, mate. I think you sold yourself short there. We did watch it, there was certainly some key moments in that one. Obviously the pace was very, very good lead, coming through the pack. We watched intently as you, the opportunities when you did get a little bit of fresh air. And then, after the pit stops, we saw a big chunk. It was obviously 10 seconds at that point, and then Rayhan tucked in behind Fraser Clegg for a little bit, so it sort of helped your cause a little bit as well, and then it plateaued out around that 4 seconds, but look, they were consistently sort of anywhere from 3 to 5/10 of a second, a good portion there, mate, so it was a big drive, but just got to applaud you on the moves. Obviously turn 1 was an opportunity, but I think it was, if I remember, is it turn 6, firing it down on a diagonal. Impressive stuff, mate, so you certainly had that thing hooked up tonight.
Thanks. yeah, I didn't want to lose my marbles on the marbles and absolutely just smoke someone over the fence. So wanted to keep it clean.
No, I like the commitment, mate. I think, you know, like when you put those moves on, they were assertive. They were clean but assertive. I think the gunstone pass, and then it wasn't too long. I think it was the next track, wasn't it, Davo? I think Zach put the exact same move on somebody else, and I was just like, man, that is textbook. It is beautiful to watch. So congrats, mate, on a P2. Obviously got the series lead at the moment and operating beautifully. So long may it last, Zach. Well done.
Thanks, guys.
Shout out to any of your sponsors or supporters, mate, just quickly, if you got someone to give a shout out.
Oh, for the rest of the Eclipse guys, of course, they're a good bunch, and yeah, of course, the league admins and you guys in the broadcast booth.
Awesome, mate. Hey, appreciate your time. Thank you, Zach.
Thanks, guys.
There you go. That is Zach. Right, and
Last but not least,
I exited the channel, but I brought back company with me, Davo, to the tune of Rehan Leonage, the man of the minute there, dominated from the front row. I'm under a time constraint, Rehan, so mate, congratulations on that one. All week in the second race.
Yep, thank you very much. Felt pretty strong with the race pace there.
Good fight back too, mate. Race one certainly didn't go your way, but how'd you nerve and got yourself back to that 15th spot to give yourself the front row start? Was that the plan in race one when it all sort of went a bit pear-shaped?
Yeah, obviously had a bit of a technical issue, jumped the start, and then made a bit of a mistake trying to go into the pit, serve that penalty. But overall, the goal was just try to get back into that top 15. Hopefully we can get a good start for the second race, and it all worked out pretty well in the end.
It was a beautiful performance, mate. I love the way you held the nerve and ran the good times at the back end. You knew that Zach was coming, but maintained that around 4 seconds and then actually stretched it with a lap to go. So it really shows that you settled into your work nicely in race 2 and made the most of it, mate. So well done. Congrats on that, and that'll bode well for the point structure. Before we let you go, Rehan, I'll let you, I'm sure, shout out a few of your sponsors and supporters, mate, before we let you go. Well done.
Yep, I'd like to thank Gamma Flare, Match for Entertainment, the Broadcasting Lounge, Sky TV Channel 83, Hybrid Racing Simulations, and you guys for putting on the show.
Awesome, mate. Always a pleasure to talk to you, Rehan. Well done, buddy.
Thank you. See you guys next time.
yeah, definitely. And
There you go, Davo. That's about as efficient as you're going to get J-Man in the booth.
all right, how are you doing? Okay. You've left me 60 seconds to wrap this up, so thank you for that.
Thank you, viewers. J-Man signing out. Catch you next week.
Thank you, J-Man. Thank you, J-Man. And thank you, Rian, Zach, and Russell, taking out the podium positions here tonight in round 3 here at Chicago Street Course. Epic stuff as always. Wheel Talk sponsors very quickly. Thank you, Volk Auto Electrical. Get in touch with Tim if you want some classic auto electrics done on your car. We're going to thank the viewers at Sky 83 for joining in. We're going to thank Allports for always sponsoring everything at Supercars NZ. Obviously, Matchbet Entertainment bringing it to you live tonight again. And Gamma Flare supporting, massive supporters as always here for everything Supercars NZ and Matchbet Entertainment. Don't forget, we've got plenty going on. We've got a little bit more iRacing over at ASRNZ tomorrow night for the final round of their Porsche Super Cup Series. We have ACC live on Matchbet Entertainment on a Thursday night as well over at ASRNZ. Awesome stuff. But that is a wrap on tonight here, round 3 at Chicago Street Course for Supercars NZ Allports B8 Supercar Series, Autumn Series. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you all next week at Virginia International Raceway. Thanks for joining us once again. Bye for now.